Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mel and Wally Show. I'm Mel.
Bonjour, I'm Wally.
On this podcast, we talk about whatever the hell we want.
Because we can. Please enjoy, subscribe, like, and follow. Do all the things.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
This is Mel.
And I'm Wally.
And today, we are going to be talking about one of our favorite things. Like, this was inevitably going to happen. So, we're talking about
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah!
I'm so excited for this episode. We kind of just we decided to do it on like a whim.
Yeah.
But I love that show so much.
It is a good show. So this episode might not be for you if you do not like Grey's Anatomy, or if you are not caught up. There may be a ton of spoilers. So this is your spoiler alert.
Yes.
Right now.
Up until season 15, I would say, because I haven't seen season 16 at all. So up until then, I would say a huge spoiler alert.
Yes.
She knows all the spoilers because she doesn't care about spoilers.
This is true.
And she just looks them up basically. I am not that person. I hate spoilers. So
especially for this show.
Well, especially for any show, but especially that one. Like if a show that I watch, if it's not a show that I'm ever gonna watch, it whatever, tell me whatever. But yeah, so with Grey's, I'm just so psychotic over making sure I don't see any spoilers, and also reality TV shows like Drag Race, for example. If I hadn't seen the finale yet, I'll make sure to stay off of social media.
Yes.
Just because, no thank you, spoilers are a huge waste of time for me. Anyway, Grey's, I started watching that later than I guess most people would think, because I was watching Scandal.
Okay.
And
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, and Scandal's really good as well. Well, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but one of my friends who worked with me at the time, I was in college, she saw me watching that one day, and she was like, "Oh, have you seen Grey's Anatomy?" Because it's the same creator,
yes.
Shonda Rhimes, who's a genius. And I was like, "Oh, I haven't." She's like, "You should watch it." At that time, it was still on TV on season 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I started watching it, caught up to this season in 6 weeks.
Okay.
Because I'm crazy.
Yep. No, that makes a whole lot of sense. I could probably do it in less time than that.
Yeah. Well, I was also in college full time and working part time.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was insane, and I was just so overwhelmed with all the emotions because I'm a very emotional person as it is. I cry at everything. So watching Grey's 10 seasons in 6 weeks, I was just a wreck every day basically. Because
in your life?
No, obviously no. I would be able to get out of it, but it was just I would just think about it all day long. Because I was like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next? And all these people are dying because obviously this whole episode is a huge spoiler alert, but
everyone is
pretty much,
and everyone is dying.
Yeah, exactly. So that was crazy. And then one day, because I used to work at the college that I went to, a student help center type of thing, and we had our own office. So one day I was early to school and didn't have anything to do, so I went in there because you weren't open yet and watched Grey's on the computer that we had.
Yeah.
And I was watching that. And I don't remember what episode it was. I think it may have been the plane crash.
Okay.
Maybe. Or something crazy. Maybe that one or the gun episode.
Okay, the gun episode?
It was one of those two, from what I can remember, because they were both crazy and super emotional for me. So my coworker walks in at one point. We still weren't open. I made sure to not be open, and I'm watching Grey's obviously. But yeah, he was also early, I guess, and he opened the door and he's like, "Oh my god, Wally, are you okay?" Because I'm just crying. And I was like, "Yeah, Grey's Anatomy." He's like, "Oh, okay," because they all knew I was crazy at that point watching this show. And that was super intense. Mm-hmm. When did you first start watching it?
I started watching it when I was dating a guy, actually, because he watched it.
Oh, I didn't know this either.
Yeah.
It's funny, we both didn't know how we started watching the show.
He, I never watched it. Because quite honestly, I thought that it was one of those stupid girl shows. So I was like, I'm not gonna watch it. This is not gonna be my.
Is this one of the people
show.
that I know that you've been with?
Well, you know all of the people, and
Well,
you have not met him.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, he watched it every Thursday,
Yeah.
and so I was just like there for the ride, and
And started liking it?
yeah. Well, no, like I didn't mind it at the time, but after we broke up, I didn't continue watching it.
Gotcha.
I think that I started like right from the very beginning. I think when I was sick. Like, I was sick and I didn't have anything to watch, so I was like, you know what? I saw some of that. Why don't I just start from the beginning and see? And yeah, and I liked it.
Yeah.
So I watched it.
It's so good, and like, I don't know, like the writing, the characters, and like the acting is usually really good. It's like everything is just good on good on good on good. Like there's very few things that I don't like about that show. Mm-hmm. Some of the actors have had drama off camera that has been a huge issue.
Yes.
But other than that, like I feel like it's such a good show. The first huge, like obviously when I first started watching it, like every episode pretty much made me cry.
Yeah, see, I'm not a crier, so I'm not going to have like the oh my god, I cried.
Like literally, like it could. I don't personally know anyone with cancer in my life or anything, but it could just have been a patient that we see for 3 seconds, and it's like they're dying from cancer. That makes me so sad. I start crying for no reason. Like not no reason, but that I was like, what is wrong with me? Rewatching, like I've rewatched it a few times from the very beginning, like and like caught up to the season that it's on TV. It hasn't been every single episode when I've rewatched it.
Yeah.
But it still gets me like pretty sad every single time. The first huge like thing that was like extremely traumatic was probably George's death, and like the way he died.
I didn't care about that at all.
See, at the time, I was so similar to George, and I'm sure I still am. You mentioned this in the previous episode, but I just felt like it was like a part of me died because I was like I would be that guy like making mistakes and like not being sure of myself if I were to be a surgeon. So when that happened, I was like, oh my god. And then like the way it happened was so brutal.
Well, no, I don't know if I would say brutal with the way that it happened. No, I think that he went out doing like it was doing a heroic thing. It was a very George
yeah, but it was just like
way to die.
Yes, that's true.
Like of course he's gonna be the person who like saves somebody
and then dies in the process, basically.
Yeah, of course he's gonna be that.
But
person.
like the way we found out who it was, because you couldn't see who it was basically until the time. Because he basically his nickname was 007 because at first he killed a few patients by accident, or was it even just one patient? I think it wasn't even that many.
I don't know if he actually killed anybody. It's just like he would be the person to kill someone.
Because they call it because he failed appendicitis
in
the very first episode. I think was it the second?
Yeah,
first
he
episode?
choked.
Yeah, he choked. And so they called him 007 because he would. Yeah. Anyway, so that was his nickname throughout the whole show, and when he was in this bed, you couldn't see who it was, and he was trying to get Meredith's attention and like trying to write, but he couldn't because he had like no like motor skills at that time.
Yeah.
So he took her hand. And was drawing with his finger 007, and I was like, oh my god. And she didn't get it at first, but he did it, and I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, because the first time he did it I knew what he was saying, and then he did it again and she was like and she's like 007, the patient is George, and then she runs out and like tells everyone else who it is, and I was like, I was just a mess right away, and they figure out who it is and everything, and they're all a mess as well, because like one of the characters was his ex-wife and all that, and like everyone was so close to him, like they were friendly at this point. Even the people that didn't like him at first were now friends with him, so it was just like,
well, ish.
Well, I'm sure he didn't want him to die.
Yes.
But that was so good, and also that episode, like, Izzy was also about to die basically, and she did technically die. Her heart stopped.
Her heart.
And then Alex was that was such a sad episode. I could not at that point. You didn't care about that episode. Well, you like cared about this, but you wasn't that sad about it.
I wasn't upset about George's character leaving.
Do you think it might have been also because like the reason he left the show was basically because he just didn't feel the same, and like his character was kind of dwindling down. Like, do you think maybe that's why?
No, I was never really a fan of George's
Okay.
character. So I didn't care whether he was there. Like, I thought that he was a nice contrast to the other characters.
Yeah.
But...
And I think at times a necessary contrast.
Well, yeah, they always have
Mm-hmm.
to have that. But he just was not my favorite character ever. So I wasn't, like, devastated when he left and when he died on the show. I think that it was, like, a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that it's one of those ones where it only has that really great impact the first time that you see it, because after, when you're rewatching it, you can totally tell that it's him.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. And you know it is.
Makeup.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, good episode.
Mm-hmm. I think to this day, like, that episode still gets me. That one and the plane crash both still get me pretty much. The shooting one gets me as well, but that one's a longer episode. Like, you have to, like, really get into it for that episode. The other two, like, you can just watch that scene with Meredith finding out who it is, and then the plane crash, you can just watch the Lexi and Mark scene, and it'll get you. But those are my cheats whenever if I'm doing a scene or something, and I which is pretty rare that I can't, get emotional. But when I am unable to, I will watch the George scene or the Lexi and Mark scene. It'll get me there like in such a flash, which is perfect for that. What was one of your like first big like tragedies that you were like, oh my god?
The big episode that I like that sticks out in my mind is the bomb. I really like the bomb episode, and that's actually the episode that got M
into it
watching the show.
Really?
He would not watch the show with me. It was the show that I just like watched on my own, and I had that episode going, and it like maybe 5 minutes into it, there's just like a woman screaming repeatedly, and she's not shutting up, and he was like, what the hell is happening? And then it was like, there's a bomb inside this person, like a homemade unstable bomb.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh. And then he was kind of like
intrigued,
still doing stuff, but he was checking in and watching it every once in a while. So I like that one, and it's also...
I like that one too.
I thought that one was like a pretty realistic thing, because like you're put in a situation where like you don't really have any control, and you're in like actual real danger. Yeah,
that was a really crazy episode. And then like this is like one of the biggest reasons why people say Meredith has a death wish, because pretty much every time she'll put herself in danger. But at the same time, it's like in that episode, I don't think it's that necessarily because she's trying to save someone's life. But like she's basically drowned herself. And what else did she do that she was like, everyone was...
She told the gunman to shoot her.
Right. Well, that I also understood. She was trying to save others. The only one that I kind of see why people would say she has a death wish was the drowning one. But also, like, it's not like her life was super easy, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, you can understand why she would do it. And also, like, that, like, it wasn't she just, like, fell in the water on purpose. She just didn't fight as long as she should have, I guess.
Well, no, she like, says it. She stopped fighting. Because she thought just for a second, like...
What if I stopped fighting?
And then she did. And then she drowned.
And she basically died until he brought her back to life.
Yeah, well, she was dead for a while. There.
Which, like, that episode kind of scared... Like, I didn't think that they would kill her off. But still, it was like, that would be crazy if they did. But I think the first huge main character death was George.
Yes.
Like, main character death.
Like, main character. Because then, you have Denny.
Right. He became a main character for a bit. But he was still kind of a side character.
He was always a side character. He's, like, just there.
Yeah. That was a really sad episode, too.
See, that I thought was worse than...
George?
Than George.
I can see that. Denny is definitely more likable, like, for everyone.
Yes. Until he comes back as a ghost, and then he's just kind of annoying and weird.
Yeah. I think
it's not even a ghost. He's just, like...
A hallucination.
Yeah.
Because of brain tumor. But that episode, from what I read, the thing that they were saying when they were shooting that scene where Izzy finds out that he's dead in her prom dress and like is crying and everything, they said that they had to like stop many times because the crew was like crying.
Yes.
And I was like, that's so sad. I was like, that would be me as a crew member.
Yeah, you'd ruin the shot. They would have to spend so much money.
They'd probably just like
your like sobs would be ruining their take.
Yeah, they probably would not have me as a crew member. If I was to be on that show as anything, it'd probably be like either be an actor or like somewhere not on set. Or like on set for maybe not the emotional scenes, because I could not handle that. Just watching people do that, it would like, I don't know. Maybe I would get over it eventually, like seeing it so many times. But
maybe
I would definitely sob and cry. I almost cried right now talking about George's death earlier. So
yeah, I know. I saw that. I was being nice and not mentioning it.
Crazy. I don't know what it, like. I get so like, maybe it's the empath in me.
It's fine.
Yeah, and then the shooting episode was one of my other big ones that like, it's like one of my love hate because it's like such a good episode, but everything in it makes me so angry because it's like so unfair that all of those things are happening. You know what I mean? Like I get it from each perspective, but it's like, oh, it's not their fault. You know what I mean? And then that was the first time I feel like we also saw Christina and Bailey be kind of like quote unquote weaker than they normally would be. So that was like a great like character episode for everyone.
Yeah, Bailey was great.
When she was like, because he was basically asking you if you were a doctor and he would shoot you if you were, but she said no, she was a nurse. And like,
that was smart.
It was smart, but also like smart. The first time we saw her kind of break down, like really badly. Did she have?
No, when she had.
I was gonna say, was that before or after when she had, when she was pregnant and had the son? Because that was she broke down there too.
I think that was
before.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't.
We're bad at fans.
I feel like it was.
I think it was after.
No, it was before.
Was it before?
I feel like it was before because they had merged in the shooting. The two hospitals had already merged.
Okay.
And I feel like when she had her baby, they had not merged yet.
Okay.
That is what I'm going to go with. So I think that
and shooting is after George. And she named the baby after George.
Oh my god, okay. Her husband, there was another tragedy going on at the same time.
Yeah, her husband was almost dying.
Her husband was almost dying. That's why Derek wouldn't leave when a gas line... It was the bomb episode.
Was it the bomb episode? Okay.
It was the bomb episode.
Okay.
Because he was in a room where there was like a gas line over it or something, but he was like, I'm not leaving.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. Because he wanted to like save the patient. He couldn't like, because they were evacuating everything and he was like, I don't want this patient to die.
Yeah, I think that's right. I
think you're right as well.
Right.
If we're wrong, like don't come for us. We haven't seen those early episodes in so long.
I would say that it's like the shooting episode because
but
it's not.
Yeah,
because Bailey couldn't be having a baby at that point because she was.
No, she was trying to take care of Mandy Moore's character in that episode.
Yeah, she was taking care of Mandy Moore, and then she was taking care of
Charles.
Oh, Charles. He was such a Neanderthal.
Oh, like, that's so mean, but I also agree. We're horrible people, if you haven't noticed yet.
The way that he looked was...
Oh my god.
Not the way he acted.
Yeah, he was a nice guy. But he looked like
I have to say it, like, I was a little bit happy when Reed just got, like, shot in
Oh my
the
god.
head.
Well, she was pretty annoying.
Yeah. I'm like, that's what you get for being rude.
Yeah.
Like, all the time.
But it was so, like, crazy. Like, she got shot and then... who was it that slipped? Was it April?
Alex.
Was it Alex that slipped? No,
April slipped, like, right after.
Well, yeah, he slept with her.
No, he slipped in her blood. Did he slip in her blood?
I don't think so.
When he got, like, shot himself and then had to crawl into the elevator? No, I'm wrong.
I don't know if it was... No.
It was just April.
Yeah, April... And then she, like... There's that shot of her, like, staring at the dead body and, like, they're both looking at each other's eyes. but Reed's dead.
Yes.
And then she's like, oh, and then, oh my god, that whole episode, like, and then Christina's trying to save Derek, who's Meredith's person, and Meredith's trying to go into the room, and they've told her not to, because she was going to be hysterical in there, because it's like our husband. And then, who was it? It was April and Meredith, right? Sitting there and like in the scrub room and like, you know, trying to calm each other down. And then Owen walks in and sees into the scrub room, and Meredith's like, how's everything going? Like, they told us not to go in. And he's like, yes, they're right, don't go in. And it's like so like monotone, you don't know what's going on. And then he goes into the room and the gunman is pointing the gun. Oh my god.
Yeah, and then he gets shot.
And then Meredith sees that happen, or finds out, so she's going there and she's like trying to save him, and the gunman is like threatening to shoot Jackson and Christina if they don't stop operating on Derek, because it was quote unquote Derek's fault that his wife died, even though his wife had made the decision for herself to like not she had signed a DNR, but because they didn't resuscitate her, he was thinking that it was their fault, because they unplugged her.
Yeah. Jackson pulled the really smart move
I
during
know,
that
but it was so
episode.
scary because you were like, and then Meredith was like hysterical.
Yeah, so if anybody hasn't seen it, Jackson basically like
Unplugs the machine.
Plugged the machine so that it looked like Derek was flatlining. And then they were just like leaving him.
And then the guy left, yeah.
And then when the gunman left,
but then Meredith was like hysterical because
she thought that Derek was dead.
Well, like,
so, and then Jackson like plugs it back in, and then Christina's like, "You go and save my guy." Like,
because I'm trying to save yours.
You try and save mine.
And then they're trying to do that, and then April and Owen or April and Meredith are trying to save Owen, but he keeps being stubborn because he is. Be like, I'm gonna have to go save Owen. She's like, no, sit down. I have to take this bullet out of your leg. And then
Jackson comes in.
Does he?
Who Owens?
Okay, but before Jackson comes in, they're trying to keep him down, and then April is saying to Meredith, "Is like, did you get shot?" She's like, "No, I'm fine." He's like, "There's blood running on your leg. Are you sure you didn't get shot?" She's like, "I'm fine. I'm having a miscarriage." I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, what else could go wrong in this episode?" It was just like everything was wrong. Nothing good was happening at all.
No, it was a terrible episode in like the best way possible.
Yeah. And then Mandy Moore's trying to basically be a doctor to help Bailey save Charles if they can, and then they can't, and then he dies.
And then later Mandy Moore dies.
Oh my god, that was such a sad episode as well. Because it's just because it was like an arc. I feel like that was one of the only like one of the main patients that we saw like kind of have an arc and not just be in one episode.
Well, she was in 2 episodes, so I don't really know how much of an arc.
But it was like that was a season finale, so
yes,
in a sense, because it was like for so long.
Yeah.
And then the episode she came back was the
one with
like a documentary style, because they were like, we have new like rules and like new things set up to make sure everything is much safer. And then the very end of that episode too, when the guy's like about to kill Richard.
Which guy is killing?
The gunman.
Oh, you went back.
I did, kind of. But yeah, that was messed up. And like,
I like Richard. Weber is great.
He is. I know. I don't know why I called him Richard.
Because people call him Richard.
True, but mainly he's called Weber.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then after that, I think the other big thing after that was the plane crash.
Yes.
Because there wasn't anything huge in season 7, like huge finale. Like obviously it was, whatever, but it wasn't like big like the shooting or the plane crash. I'm Sherlock Holmes, eh? Come on, Watson.
Wally, what are you doing?
I'm practicing to be Sherlock Holmes. Duh. Sherlock Holmes.
I hate to have to be the one to tell you this, but that's already done.
Oh.
It's up on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and even YouTube.
Oh. Well, I guess I'll go check them out on MNP Podcasts on podcast networks or Mortar and Pestle Productions on YouTube.
You should also follow Mortar and Pestle Productions on Instagram, so you don't miss any other episodes. Wally.
Will do.
Also, that accent sucks. Please don't ever talk like that again.
Ah.
Ever. Okay, I can see that, yeah.
Because that was season 6 finale, the shooting.
Yes.
And season 5 was George. And season 8 was the shooting. I don't even remember what the huge finale was for season 7.
I don't know either.
But
I have no idea.
But when the plane crash happened, that was like so crazy as well, because it was like kind of came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it had like, you always know in the opening credits if there's like something off,
mm-hmm.
that is just gonna be, you're like, oh, this is gonna be one.
Well, it's like
it has like the little like tingling.
Yeah. I think they like kind of had like, they have sometimes where like the created by Shonda Rhimes got like broken or something. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it like, so you're like, what's gonna go wrong? What's gonna go wrong? And then I never imagined that it would be that.
Yeah.
Like I thought maybe if anything, like it was gonna be like a huge like trauma coming in, where like there's like a, you know, when they had the train crash and they had like the two people with the piece of metal sticking in between them.
Oh, that was a sad episode.
That was a really sad episode. But I thought it was going to be something like that, potentially, not the doctors themselves. And then when that happened, I was like, oh my god. And then, like, everyone's pretty much on the verge of death except for, like, Meredith and Christina. They're just both going crazy, kind of. Because Derek was on the verge of death, basically, if they couldn't get him off. Or, like, at least he was going to lose his hand. And he's a surgeon, so it's, like, his livelihood. Arizona's stuck under the thing. Yeah. And she's going to lose her leg, probably. And then Lexi and Mark are like about to die. It was just like I could not handle that episode. Yeah. That was the first.
It was like, it was sad. It wasn't like, it's not like one of my top.
No.
Ones. No, it was a lot of drama. I think just to kind of elicit that kind of reaction from people. So it
which it did like successfully for me. That was one of the first episodes I think my younger brother watched with me.
Yeah.
Because he obviously heard me talking about the show and whatever. And I was like I would tell him how much like I cry so much watching the show, and he's like, "Why?" I'm like, "It's really sad."
Comes to that one as his introduction.
Well, yeah. So when he saw me watching that, he was like, he looks at me at the end. He's like, "I see why you cry now at every episode." I'm like, every episode is not as bad as that one, but yes, that is the point that I was trying to get across. It's very traumatic. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he now watches it as well. So he's on season 9. Okay. Yes, right after the plane crash. He's on season, like, mid-season 9. And then that was, the other thing that was crazy was, like, right after the plane crash happened in the beginning of season 9, when Christina goes away to Minnesota, and Meredith and her are talking on the phone, they're like, I can't believe this has only been 5 years. So when I saw that, I paused it. I was like, everything has only happened in the past 5 years. Like, that's crazy. Like, how are they surviving? Obviously, it's a TV show, but, like, so much drama and so much trauma in only 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. And then, like, I was, like, thinking back about my past 5 years. I'm like, okay, I guess I can see it. Because it's obviously a condensed version of what we get. But it's like, I guess, yeah, there has been a lot of changes in the past 5 years, you know what I mean? So I was like, but yeah, that was crazy. And then she comes back, thank God. But then she leaves.
Season 7 would have been, I could be wrong. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. But season 7 could have been the Zola and getting married, like the post-it.
Oh, that was a really cute episode.
Yeah, I like the post-it.
It's really always so weird to me, though, when they end a season on, like, a kind of a happy note. Because I'm like, you're supposed to make me cry and die.
Well,
and
I'm
like,
sure that they didn't end it on a happy note.
But that was part of season 7?
I think that was, like, one of the main arcs in 7.
Okay.
Because they got married for real so that they could get Zola.
Right. That makes sense. I'm Googling right now what season 7 is.
And yeah, and just everybody knows this, but Derek was actually writing down their vows.
Oh, that was so cute.
Post-it, so it's actually like everything that they were saying. They were kind of like, I don't even know if that was scripted. I feel like they were just making
Aww.
it all up, and he was writing everything down that they had said.
Yeah.
And
It's like to like love each
then
other
they,
even
like,
when we don't.
kept it.
Oh, yeah, it was above their bed for the rest of it, basically, in a frame,
Yeah, for
along
most
with
of
the tumor
Yeah.
that they had drawn on the wall when they were trying to help each other solve it, or she was trying to help him solve it.
Yeah, that was when she had her
Liver, when she gave part of her liver to her dad.
I thought that was like appendectomy, wasn't it? Didn't she have to get an appendectomy?
Did she? I thought it was the liver because I know. It could have been either, I guess, because she was on bed rest for a while for both. But the liver, I remember her being for a really long time because she was pregnant at the time.
Yeah, I thought that they left her in the hospital for that one, but maybe.
For the liver, no, she went home.
She went home, but she was in the hospital for a while.
At the liver? Not as far as I can remember.
Because she was overhearing everybody.
Maybe. Basically,
Anyway.
what I'm saying is I need to rewatch this whole show again, clearly.
Yeah, exactly. We need to go back to the beginning.
But yeah, those were so cute. Like, just part of their, like, relationship was, like, captured on their walls forever, basically.
Yeah. I like it.
Oh, and then, like, the way he proposed, too, was so cute.
Oh, yes.
The candles. Oh, no, she did that. She did the candles.
Yeah, that was her just saying that she wanted to be with him.
Yeah.
He proposed in the elevator.
Right. No, I was thinking of the candles because I think that's so cute.
Because that would take such a long time.
To set up?
Yes.
And, like, it was, like, the setup of the house, basically.
Yeah. That would take so long. And, like, where did she get those candles?
She probably sent an intern to buy them for her and set it up.
She was, like, an intern, but...
No, she wasn't.
She was, like, basically an intern.
She was a resident.
That's basically. That's, like, you don't have that much power when you're a resident.
Bailey was a resident at the very beginning.
Yeah, but I'm sure that they weren't going to go and get, like, 1,000,000 candles.
They would have for Bailey.
Well, for Bailey, no one was going to get 1,000,000 candles for Meredith.
Not at that time, but then when she became an attending, they were calling her Medusa.
Yeah.
Because she was a stone cold person at that time. But that was also right before, after the plane crash, so that was viral, I think.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that when that happened?
Yeah, that was so cute. And then, like...
Who is your most hated
character? Oh,
Which
most
one?
hated character?
Which one do you, like, really dislike?
Like a main character?
Main and... Okay, give me a main character and then give me, like, a something character.
I feel like with most main characters, I, at some point, do start liking them. Like, at the very beginning, I hated Alex. Obviously, I knew he was necessary. Yeah, I knew he was necessary for the contrast, like you said, with George and everything. He was necessary to have. And also, I think I've told you this before, where, like, Alex wasn't originally in the script. He got, like, CGI'd in, which I think is super cool. But yeah, like, I hated him at first because he was such a prick to everyone. But now he's, like, such a nice guy. He has his, prick tendencies sometimes. But I hated him at first. And then, I don't know if I hate... Oh, maybe Catherine. Because she just meddles in everything so much. I'm just like, leave them alone. Like, she's
annoying.
There's a chance that April and Jackson could have worked things out if it wasn't for her.
She did royally screw that up.
Yeah. The only time that I liked the way she was, like, talking to them was the time where they had the baby, Samuel, and she was like, you're going to have the baby, you're going to give it a name, and then, oh, that was so sad.
Yeah, she was great there.
But that's pretty much the only time I liked them in that, like, I liked her in their relationship. And then she also gets annoying sometimes with me over Richard. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, why are you treating him this way? He's such a nice guy. So she would probably be, like, a main character. And I love her as an actress, and she's such a boss, because, like, she's one of the main executive producers, and, like, she's directed many episodes. So she's a great person.
Yeah.
As herself, but as the character, sometimes she's so annoying. So she'd probably be, like, the most hated character.
She's an amazing woman. Like, everything that she has accomplished in her life, if you actually, like, look at...
Oh, for sure.
All of it? Oh, my God.
And then maybe most hated smaller character would probably be either... Like, if it's, like, a one-episode person, the Nazi guy. He was such a prick.
Yes. With the tattoo.
Yeah. And then they, like, kind of purposefully made it, like, so that his incision scar was, like, messing up the tattoo.
Yeah, they completely got rid of...
Well, they didn't get rid of it.
No, but they got... You could not tell that it was a swastika
Yeah.
when they were done. It was, like, ruined. Which is...
Fair.
Yeah.
And also, Meredith's mother.
Oh, she's a terrible human being.
Yeah. Yeah, when that episode where she's in the hospital because she becomes lucid for a bit and then she loses her memory again because she has Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
She, like, when she said to Meredith, she was like, I, brought you up to be extraordinary and imagine my disappointment when you just turned out to be ordinary. I was like, that is so mean. And, like, I just could not. That whole episode, I was crying the whole time. Because there was, like, some stuff that was, like, similar in my own life. I was like, this is horrible. And then, like, Meredith is just, like, has been trying to do her best to, like, visit her and make sure she doesn't go completely crazy at the house, old age house. And yeah, that episode killed me. How about you? Most hated character, big or small, or both?
Oh, okay. Erica Hahn.
Oh, okay.
Hate her.
Why?
Her so much. Because she's so annoying. Oh my god. I cannot stand her. I cannot stand her character. I cannot stand her face. I'm so happy that she only lasted that amount of time.
There's also a lot of drama behind that. I don't know if I told you how she got left the show. Anyway, continue. I'll tell you about that after.
Also, not a fan of Preston.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Like, super glad.
I completely forgot about him because I didn't even like him.
Preston.
Like, he was fine the first few episodes of the first season, and then he was just like, you're annoying.
I don't like anything about him. The only time no, I'm even taking that back. I'm stopping myself before I finish.
Because there's no redemption.
Nah, don't like him.
I know. I was so upset when they were bringing him back for that episode in season 10, but it was necessary to close off Christina's storyline, so it was okay.
Yeah, I am not the biggest fan of Owen.
Anymore. When he first came in, you liked him.
For one episode?
Just one episode?
That one
with the
episode
icicle?
Where he came in, he was like stapling
himself.
His like leg. And he was just like without any anesthesia or anything.
And Christina basically fell in love with him right away.
The icicle out of Christina. Then I'm like, okay, you're a badass. I like that. We don't have any character that's like that. And then his character just completely changed.
Not right away.
Pretty much right away.
Like, I feel like he was kind of that way for like at least half a season.
I don't think so.
I could be remembering it wrong, but
like,
I like Owen.
He had the pig episode, and I was like,
which is the pig episode?
Where they had all the pigs, and he like stabbed them all, and he was like, "Your pigs are dying. Save them."
Yeah, he was doing trauma training.
Yeah.
Was that was with were there the new interns, Joe and Stephanie, there at that time? Or was it with April? It was with April because when they're outside in the rain, April's going crazy. She's like,
no, that was a different thing. I think that I feel like it was like Izzy had a problem with it, and she was like, "What are you doing?" And then she walked out.
Yes, you're right. So this was not with the new interns. Yeah, that was them. Okay, you're right.
April, Lexi was there because she saved all the pigs, and then she was like, "What do you mean you're go and kill them all?" Because I think that she had all of them stable.
She did. She.
So yeah,
I love Lexi.
Lexi was there, which means
that Jackson was there.
Yeah, so Jackson and April would have been there as well, I think. I'm so confused.
Or maybe at this point April was fired because she got fired at some point.
She did get fired.
And then she got brought back.
I did not like April to begin with.
Yeah.
And then she becomes kind of like a badass in the later episodes.
Until she got fired.
That I like. I like the new April. I do not like the old whiny, complaining.
I can see that. And it's weird. I think I like didn't.
Oh, I also don't like Maggie. Not a fan.
Oh, really?
I'm not a Maggie fan.
That's surprising to me.
Why?
I don't know why.
She's so annoying. She's like self-righteous and annoying. I don't like it.
Okay. I like it, Maggie. I prefer, I mean, obviously Meredith.
Not a fan.
But
not a fan of Maggie. At all.
I like her. I feel like her, Amelia and Meredith are like three sisters. Just like,
I like
and
Amelia.
they're so different. Yeah, I love Amelia.
I like her.
Sometimes I'm like, can you just not? Can you just like let things be? But then I'm like, this is how I am, so I can. Because she's basically ruined every good thing, or like because she thinks it's gonna go bad, she just makes it bad right away.
Yeah.
So
it's good. It's healthy. You know.
Super healthy. I did. One of my friends and I we recreated that scene with her and Owen.
Yes, I saw that.
It was a fun scene to recreate.
You showed that to me. Smaller character that I do not like. Derek's sister.
Which one?
Like the first one that you meet.
Lizzie?
No.
The one who gives her...
Lizzie was...
Neve Campbell.
She's fine.
Okay.
No, like the older...
Okay.
One.
I know who you're talking about.
I don't like her.
Okay. I can see that.
Don't like her. She's horrible.
Yeah, she's pretty mean. What about Meredith's dad?
He's fine. Thatcher is fine. Also, because I saw him on Scandal, I was like, oh, okay. Like, it's very different characters.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
And Meredith's mom is also on Scandal.
Yes. I like to see their interaction because I thought that was interesting between the two different shows and the different characters that they were portraying. I thought that was a really neat thing to be able to watch, and it made me appreciate the actors a little bit more. So
they're both really good.
I like them. I just thought of another person that I hate.
Who?
Rose.
Oh, she was the worst.
Rose.
Yeah.
Can we please?
She was the worst.
Rose is awful.
I hated her too.
Yeah.
I also like what's her name? That nurse. That.
Sif nurse.
Yes, because she got Olivia, because she got Sif from Alex and gave it to George.
Yeah.
She was like at first, the first few episodes you meet her, I was like, oh, this is fun. We'll kind of get to know a nurse, and then she just became so annoying.
Yeah, and then they brought her back, and then she was still annoying.
Yeah.
Like.
And then they didn't bring her back again.
Fine. Alex gave you Sif. Just move on. You don't have to still be upset with him like 10 years later.
You can get rid of Sif. You're fine.
Yeah.
One of my favorite characters that basically has never had a line is Boki.
I love Boki. Boki's gonna outlive them all.
Yeah, it's crazy because she's been in basically in the show from the very beginning, and she's had a line maybe once, I think. But she's been a background actor as one of the scrub nurses or whatever they call it, surgery nurses.
Scrub nurse.
Yeah, okay. And yeah, so it's so funny because then they're like, Boki, 10-inch or whatever. And she's always there and we'll give them the looks and stuff. It's so cute. I love her.
That's her profession.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, in real life.
Oh.
In the show and in real life, she is
a scrub nurse?
A scrub nurse.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, she's so funny. Just with her small little things that she does. Who's your favorite character to this day? Do you have one?
Do I have a favorite character? Oh. I don't know if I have a favorite. Amelia is up there.
I feel
Meredith is up there.
Yeah. With Amelia, I feel like I like her after the very first few times I meet her. You know what I mean? When she becomes more of a regular person, I start liking her more. Like a regular character, on the show, more so.
I love Mark. I love Alex.
He's had a great arc, too.
Oh, yeah.
Probably one of the best in the show.
yeah, he's come a long way. I like that. I like when he is going to jail, or like right after he beats DeLuca up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, DeLuca's so yummy.
Ew. But I like that you can see the progression of the two characters of Alex and Meredith in that episode, and like the ones surrounding it, just because he goes and like turns himself in, and Meredith is going to, like, she's told Bailey about it, whereas like all those years ago it would have been the exact opposite.
They would have hid it from everyone.
Into so much trouble,
like the Denny thing,
because of it. Yes, exactly.
Cutting the Alvad wire.
I love Ben flip-flops for me.
Okay, I can see that.
Because I'm just like, I could so easily love him, because he is so wonderful in so many ways. But then at the same time, him just like bouncing around all over the place, I'm like, what are you doing?
And now he's like basically not on the show anymore.
Yeah, well, he got his own show, so it worked out for him. But like, it just like, if you put yourself in the position of like being married to someone that's like flopping all over the place like a fish.
Yeah.
Picture in my head.
No, I get that. I would say one of my favorite characters is probably Christina.
Yeah.
I loved Christina.
See, she never.
I was so upset when she left.
She never really went on like
a huge arc.
Yeah, she never had much of one.
I feel like she like her character arc was like slow, very slow, so it was never like a huge arc. You know what I mean?
I don't think that she really developed as a character necessarily. I think she kind of remained the same person, which is completely fine. I think that for her it was more like a journey to get where she wanted to go. Like, she was always trying to
be the best cardiothoracic surgeon.
Yeah, she was trying to be the best. She wanted to be taught by the best. She kind of like was lost for a long time because she wasn't receiving the like attention that she needed to become great. And so I think hers was more of like a journey to attaining the like career that she wanted.
No, I agree. And that was like one, because I caught up to that season when she was leaving, when it was on TV. So like I saw the trailers for like Farewell to Christina. I'm like, oh my god! And like the whole episode, I'm like, they're gonna kill her, because it's Grace, and they do that all the time. But then in my mind, I also thought, I was like, okay, they might not kill her, because then maybe they wouldn't have done this whole, Farewell to Christina like trailer, because it's kind of giving it away. But still in my mind, I'm like, they're gonna kill her and then obviously in this episode too, they make you think that she's gonna die, because like there's an explosion at the mall that she went to. Yeah. And then we find out she didn't actually go to the mall because she didn't get there. And then like at the very end too, it's like 3 minutes after the show, and I'm like, they're gonna kill her because she's outside waiting for a cab. I'm like, she's gonna step out and the cab's gonna hit her or something like that, because my mind was going crazy. But the last thing she said to Meredith was super sweet, and like one of my favorite quotes from the show, when she's like, Derek's very dreamy, but he's not the son you are. Yeah. And like basically like, don't let him like dim your, like, you're allowed to have your own dreams and hopes.
Don't let what he wants eclipse what you need. That sounds about right.
Something like that.
I know it had eclipse in it.
Okay, I don't remember that, but I just remember the very exact ending.
About, like,
the sun.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, another character that I am not sure about is Megan.
Yeah, you're right. Don't let what he wants eclipse what you need. He's very dreamy, but he's not the sun you are. Yes. So I got the ending right, and you got the rest of it. Good job. What about Megan? You're not sure of her?
I don't really care for Megan.
Okay.
She's okay.
I can see that.
Not really. I love Riggs. Love him. I would have been so happy if he had just stayed if he had stayed and been there.
But I think for the reason that I think they got
I know
rid
why.
of him. Yeah.
They didn't need to get rid of him.
No. But I can see why, like, because of Megan. Like,
yeah.
And that scene was so sad when, like, they find out that Megan's alive and Briggs is like, oh, what am I going to do? And Meredith was like, go. He's like, if I found out that Derek was alive, I would go.
Yeah.
I was, like, so heartbroken.
Well, it's totally what you would do.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Oh, and the little kid that they adopted.
Yeah, he was nice. He was a nice kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love Riggs as well.
See?
I agree with that.
Riggs is good. Like, he was a man. He was, like, a good man. They haven't brought in, like, a man. It's always interns that they bring in, so they're very young.
Right.
And they have a lot of growing up to do. He came in, and he was, like, a
developed
solid,
person, yeah.
Like, man, like, he had flaws and everything. But he was, like, a grown-up. He was...
Yeah. From the new batch of interns, like, I guess the newest batch of interns, my favorites are the 2 gay guys. It's because I feel like their storylines, as far as I've seen...
I like Glasses.
Glasses is fun, too. I like her as well. No, or him. Sorry, him.
He's the gay guy.
I know. I don't know why. I was imagining someone else. Yeah, he's really cute.
I like him. I don't like the other guy.
No?
No. I don't like his attitude.
You think he's a little, like, full of himself?
Yeah, but, like, full of himself because he's, like, masking his insecurity about everything.
Yeah.
And then Glasses is just, like, himself. And
I feel like...
he gets there. He starts off unsure about himself, and then
Glasses?
Yeah, and then he gets there.
The scene with them was really cute when he finally kisses him, and then afterwards he's like, "You're the first guy I've ever kissed, so this is, like, really exciting for me." So, like, oh, that was really cute when they're in the ambulance and, like, trying to figure these things out. Mel, can I ask you a serious question?
Yeah, sure. You can ask me whatever you want. You know that.
This has been bugging me for a really, really long time. Does size matter?
You know who would be perfect for answering that? She's been with, like, way more people than me. Jacqueline.
Oh, you mean that wannabe drag queen that hosts sex trades?
Yeah. I mean, sex trades with Jacqueline of all trades. There are already 5 episodes out.
Oh, okay. Well, what if I don't want to tell the whole world my name?
Just use an alias or tell her that it's from Anonymous.
I guess I'll DM her on Instagram at JacquelineO.T, JACKELYNNE.T.
You know, you could also email her at mandpafterdark@gmail.com. mandpafterdark@gmail.com.
Thanks, Mel.
No problem.
But yeah, I thought it was super cute when, like, Glasses and I can't remember his name got together.
Yeah, I don't even remember his name. Yeah, that's how you know that you don't really like somebody, you know.
Well, I forgot Sloane and Derek's name earlier too, and I love them.
Yeah, that was in the episode that we did before this.
True.
Sparked our entire decision to create this episode.
But yeah, when he when Glasses finally was like, "I like you and you can't take that away from me," or whatever. Like, it was so cute, and, like, it's like you're finally, like, standing up, like, you know, coming into your own or whatever. And he was, like, so nervous to, like, tell his parents. And then I did kind of see why the other guy was, like, would be upset because he didn't want to be, like, his, like, person to, you know, what's it called, like, help him figure things out necessarily, or, like, you know, be used just for, like, I might be into this, maybe not. And that's why I think Christina or Arizona and Callie had that issue at first too, because Arizona was like, I'm not your toy to, like, just use and not necessarily, you know, be a lesbian or be with me just to, like, figure things out with or whatever. So I kind of see that aspect of it.
Well, Arizona was never like 100% comfortable with the fact that Callie was bi.
Yeah.
She was never like fully on board with it. It always bothered her.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was one of her big flaws, I would say.
Agreed. Because to me, it's like none of that really should matter. Because if someone's gonna cheat on you, they're gonna cheat on you no matter what. Yeah. If that's the worry.
Although, like, I'm like, did she
cheat on Arizona?
Did she cheat on Arizona?
Arizona cheated on her.
No. But remember when it was at the very, very beginning? I guess this was with Han, so this doesn't matter. But she was sleeping with Mark at the same time as, I think, Han.
Yeah, I think
So it was Erica Han, which, whatever, that's Han. We all know how I feel about her.
No, I think the only time she slept with Mark when she was still kind of, I guess they weren't together at that point because she was in Africa, I think, right?
Yeah, when they had the big fight.
Which was also valid for both of them. I can see both sides of the argument. I think the only reason she went to Africa too was because she was pregnant in real life.
That could be. She was
because she has like 85 kids.
She was pregnant a lot during
yeah,
that.
I love.
Have 85 kids.
She has like 5.
I don't think that she has 5.
She has 5.
Does she?
I think so.
It's like she only had 3.
No, I think she has 5. Or no, I think she has 3. Alex has 5 kids.
Yeah, Alex has 9 kids.
That's what I was. Mixing them up. But yeah, she's been pregnant a lot during the show, and they've had to like try and hide it for as much as they could. I think she's the only one that's been like pregnant multiple times during filming. Oh, and April.
Yes.
No, she was pregnant once, I think, only though.
Well, Arizona was never pregnant in the show.
Right.
So like it was like a constant struggle to like hide it with her.
And then April was pregnant in real life, and they wrote it into the show. And that was the first time, which was really like crazy. Must have been so crazy for her to film those scenes.
Yeah, that would be really hard.
Especially of like how that pregnancy ends too. Like, and she went into labor like the day after they shot that in real life.
That would be scary. I'd be like, do it after my baby is here and alive, please.
Yeah, because that scene is so crazy. Oh my god! Like the amount of like April is one of my favorite characters in this, like favorite actors on the show, because the amount of things that she's had to like, I mean, all of them have had to do with this, but like the 2-3 times that she's been like so like emotional and whatever, I'm just like, she does it so well that I like forget that I'm even watching a show. Like it just feels so real, and like the time then like Ben is giving her C-section on Meredith's kitchen table, like her scream was so blood curdling and like real. I was like, is this actually happening? You know what I mean?
Well, like a lot of people suck at screaming.
Yeah.
They hold back.
I'm probably one of those people.
It's not good when people hold back.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And screaming. So she
just does it and goes for it.
Work. There.
Yeah, that first pregnancy storyline. I think I told you this. Like, one of her friends went through that, and she suggested that storyline to the writers, and so they wrote it in with the whole like osteogenesis imperfecta. And I was like, that's crazy and like so horrible.
There was a woman in one of the groups that I'm in who actually had gone through that, and she found out that she was like moving, so she moved to like this new place, and hadn't found a doctor yet, because I think it was just sort of like she figured that she would have time. I don't know why, being pregnant, you wouldn't have a doctor or anything set up, so she needed to like find a doctor and then have like another appointment and then schedule the induction, basically, because her son had that, and it was awful because everybody was like walking around in like this new tan. They were like telling her how like, oh, you look beautiful.
Oh my
how
God.
far along are you? Saying all these
That would
things,
be
and
so
she's just like, it was just
Oh my
an
God.
awful experience.
Yeah, I can
So she
only
was sharing
imagine.
that.
That's super sad.
But
I
yeah,
could
it was
not
like
handle
the
that.
exact same thing, and I think that was the only time other than in the show that I have heard anybody mention.
Mm-hmm. It's very rare. Which, yeah.
Thankfully.
I could not imagine going through that. That would, like, I don't know how I would survive that.
It would be really hard. You have no choice, really,
Yes,
but to survive
but it would be so difficult. And, yeah. Anyway, that was one of my, like, top April and Jackson moments.
Mm-hmm.
But especially April, like, she was such a good actress. She is such a good actress. But those scenes specifically.
Yeah. Aww. This is really making me want to go and watch
everything. Yeah, same. And then, like, get reminded of things that we've probably forgotten.
Oh, we've forgotten so many things. If you guys have any favorites
Yes.
out there, favorite episodes, favorite characters, least favorite characters, who do you hate?
Mm-hmm.
We want to know.
One of the other people that we both kind of hate that we didn't mention is Teddy.
Yeah, I'm not a Teddy fan.
I'm not either.
Not a Teddy fan.
I say this thing that I probably shouldn't say, but that I'll probably get in trouble for, but I call her lesbian Teddy. Because she just has a face.
Because she has a face. Okay. Don't have a face.
Yeah, if you have a face, you're a lesbian. I don't know. She just looks like a lesbian to me, and I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm a horrible person.
I don't know what that even means. Like, I honestly don't know what it means. I don't.
Okay, watch the show again with her, and you'll. She just looks like a lesbian. This is probably so bad for me to say, especially being like part of the community or whatever. But it's like I'm sorry, I just can't help it that she looks like that to me in my eyes. And Gabby, my roommate, agrees with me. So every time she comes on screen, we're like, oh look, it's lesbian Teddy, or whenever she like is professing her love for Owen, we're like, who are you kidding?
I don't see that. I don't see that at all.
It's fine. I'm just gonna go to hell by myself, I guess.
No, I'm going to hell for other things. Just not that. Yeah. I don't see that at all.
Oh yeah, I'm crazy.
Yeah. I don't think that any of the characters look gay or straight or bi or anything. I'm just sort of like, you're the characters. Cool.
No, I think she looks like a lesbian. She's not at all.
No, I know.
In real life or in the show. But I...
No, she has a huge problem, though, because she just wants to be with Owen, and every single person that wants to be with Owen is screwed.
Yes, royally.
Like, Owen's just... I don't like Owen. I don't like Owen at all.
Yeah, I feel
no
like...
one should be with Owen.
No, he's not. He shouldn't be with anyone relationship-wise.
No.
He's pretty messed up.
Yes.
Oh, that was a crazy scene, too, with him and Christina, where he like, choked her.
Oh, that was fine.
Oh, I thought that was so horrible.
That was fine. It wouldn't be a fun way to wake up.
No. And Callie was, like, saving her. I was like, no. I was, like, basically trying to, like, be her guardian for a bit. Because they were living together at that time.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite Callie Arizona moments is when they're in the shower after the leg. And she's having a... Like, Arizona's basically having a breakdown. And Callie's, like, trying to be there for her. I'm just, like, in the shower crying. I don't know why. I just, like, remember that scene so vividly.
I can picture the scene that you're talking about. I'm not,
so,
like...
It's... my heart.
I'm not crazy about it. One thing that I really do like, and you're probably not going to like this because it involves somebody that you don't like, but I absolutely love the Alex and Izzy wedding.
I love the Alex and Izzy wedding.
The Alex and Izzy wedding is
Why
maybe...
Why didn't you think I would like that?
Because you don't like Izzy.
I like Izzy in the very beginning. I think she gets annoying at the end, but I liked...
Well, that's like the very...
I know, but I liked their moments together still.
Okay.
But I liked Izzy separately. I hated Alex and Izzy. I liked. If that makes any sense.
I really love that wedding. I think it's my favorite.
It was so sad too because Meredith and Derek gave their wedding to them.
That's not sad.
I think that's sad.
It wasn't their wedding.
It was their wedding.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. She planned it all, and it wasn't like them. So it was not their wedding.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, but in like Izzy's mind, it was their wedding.
Anyway, Alex's vows.
Yes. Oh my god. That scene when like Izzy like gets up to walk too. That whole scene, that whole episode was really good.
Yeah. Aw.
We could talk about this forever as well.
I know.
Because Grey's is amazing.
Also, I just have to give like good shout out to the oh my god, what is the department called?
Which department? Makeup?
The
Special effects?
No, the dermatology in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Where they would just go and they would sit and like light. Those episodes were great where they're all just like sitting there forever.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, shh, be quiet. This is a happy place.
I do like those.
They give each other massages.
I know, because it's so different from every other department that we've ever seen.
Yeah, and like, they have water, berries.
It's like every other people are like dying and like craziness, madness is happening. They're just like, so calm.
They're like, they're going away for the weekend.
Yeah.
And like, blah, 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 blah is happening. It's like,
That was like one of my other favorite pastimes that they would do was eat in that guy's room.
Oh yeah.
And then he woke up one day. He's like, "You guys are so freaking annoying. Leave me alone."
Yeah.
Oh gosh, Grey's Anatomy.
Good times.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, tell us some of your favorite Grey's moments. Tell us some of your least favorite Grey's moments.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you have a lot. I definitely do.
Yes. Your hates all the experimental episodes.
Yes. Oh my god.
Which I can see.
Like, yeah, musical episode.
I think out of the experimental episodes, that one I don't hate as much as all the other ones because it was like we were in Callie's head. That was why it was like happening.
I understand why it was happening.
Yeah, but I can see why people don't like it as well.
It's execution. Everything
Okay.
with an experimental episode is all in the
Right.
execution. So I think that one didn't exactly hit the mark.
No, but there's also like a lot of like, or not a lot, but like two of the main characters can't sing.
Yeah.
Meredith and Christina. So they were like kind of barely in that episode. And it was mainly like Owen and like Bailey and
Yeah, Owen
Callie.
sang. There was one song that I was just like, Owen, no. Like, they should have picked a different song.
for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Callie and Bailey are really good singers.
Well, everybody that was singing
Was good.
has a good voice. I just don't think that they necessarily chose
The right songs.
Right. For their voices. Like, some of them were like great choices. Others they could
Not so much.
They could have made better decisions there.
Mm-hmm. I see that.
Yeah. We're just gonna like keep starting and stopping this episode. But yeah, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know what it is that you like, or if there are any other shows that you watched that we might watch and you want us to talk about.
Yeah.
Like,
Want us to go on a rant for 2 hours about any show?
I could easily go on a rant about Game of Thrones. I know that Wally hasn't really watched it. Wally.
I've only seen the first season, basically.
So bad.
Is it on? You said it's on Crave, right?
Yeah.
So I could watch it now because I have Crave now.
So go and watch it. Do your homework.
We'll do an episode about that in a few months when I finally catch up.
Yeah. You'll be traumatized.
Because I don't think that's one I could watch, like, binge watch that quickly.
Oh, you can binge watch Game of Thrones. Yes. You can definitely binge
Actually, that might
it.
even be better because then I won't get confused with all the characters. If I watch them quickly, then I'll understand everything and I won't forget stuff.
That could help.
Because there's so many things going on at all times, as far as I know, at least.
It's not that hard to follow.
That's good.
All right. So, should we play our game?
We should. Or F, Marry, Kill.
Yes. Okay. So, I'm supposed to be picking the names, and to stick with the theme of tonight, we are going to do... Let's do Grey's Anatomy women.
Ooh, okay. I think this is the first time we've done women.
So, let's do Catherine Avery.
Okay.
Everybody knows where this is going.
Are you choosing the woman that I hate?
No.
Oh my god. Oh, Melissa. Okay, continue. I gave you easy options in the sense that they're all great.
Catherine Avery, Teddy Altman,
Okay.
and I forget her first name. But Herman.
Nicole.
Played by Nicole Herman. Thank you.
Okay.
See, I had to give you
I don't hate Nicole Herman.
I know, nobody ends up hating Nicole
She's
Herman.
pretty great. Gina Davis.
Yeah.
She's amazing. She's a really good actress. Oh gosh, that's a hard decision. If I were to go for women, those probably wouldn't be any of the choices in normal life that I would make. Okay, I would definitely kill Catherine because I could not handle that. I would. The other two are hard choices. I would probably say I would have to marry Nicole Herman and just have sex with Teddy.
Cool.
Because I don't think I could be with Teddy for the rest of my life.
Yeah, probably not. You really dislike her.
I don't extremely dislike her. I just think she's kind of annoying at times. I think in terms of the show, she's pretty good at what she does as her job. But I cannot stand her sometimes when she's so annoying over Owen and Christina and that whole situation, and then dragging what's his name, Karasik, along for so long.
He grew on me.
So yeah, I just think that's I understand why everything happened, but still it's just not cool. So she's pretty annoying to me. So that's why I couldn't marry her. Yeah, so I'd marry Nicole, even though she's so strong-minded at times that I feel like it could be hard to do things. But
you would love it.
I love Nicole. Anyway, your turn.
Okay.
You made it easy by giving me Nicole. Otherwise, it would have been super hard.
Yeah, I know. I have to do something. I would just like to say that if anybody, including you, Wally, who has not watched Ally McBeal, because that is where I forget the actor's name who plays him, but Krasik. He was in Ally McBeal.
Okay, I've never seen it.
As one of the lead characters, and that is where I first saw him, and he was awesome in that. And he's one of those ones that you kind of grow to like. He's
right.
Weird and a little bit of a dick, and then you're just oh. And it's sort of the same in this one, except he's way more of a dick.
Gotcha.
But yeah. Anyway, let's just go ahead and watch it. Anyway, answering
your turn, yeah.
my own thing. I would marry Catherine.
Okay.
Get me a little bit of that Avery money.
I mean, yeah, I get that. But I could not handle her.
Well, you know what? You know what you're getting yourself into.
Also, you would have to sign an extremely long prenup.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm just saying.
I'm not saying I'm divorcing her. I'm saying I'm marrying her.
That was just like so crazy and intense. Anyway, continue.
But if she dies,
it's your decision. It's fine.
If she dies, then you get like
something. You
get to continue living like
the Avery way
lifestyle.
Yeah, that's true.
Whatever. Anyway, their prenups can't be that great. Like, they do give it to other people outside of the family, otherwise she wouldn't have ended up with it.
True. That's true.
So marrying Catherine.
Okay.
And then I am going to have sex with Herman.
Okay.
Because that tumor that she had made her a little crazy, and that could be fun. And then I'll kill Teddy to put her out of her own misery.
It's so funny that you were like, you hate Teddy so much, Wally, and then you're the one that killed her. Oh gosh. Well, this was a fun episode. I loved basically recapping Grace for people. But continue listening and subscribing and following us on all the socials. All the links are in the description box, so do it.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys next time.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.